thank you for connecting. I am Shakesha Divine, and this is the Pretty Priestess Podcast. And I'm stopping through, even though I don't feel like it. I wanted to sit on my ass in pastime paradise, but I have made this commitment to go ahead and make sure that I put my energy out there and do this damn thing because this is a challenging time for me. And I know that we are in this spring energy. We have transitioned into Aries, but I'm still working it out. I'm working it out. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep a sister lifted up. I want to give so many shout outs because I just happened to grab up my phone. That's the other thing, too. I went into hermit mode and shit, right? And I happened to pick up my phone and seeing all of the cool and magical shits that the Soul family is doing some things in some very big ways. I am super excited and I am looking forward to the opportunity to sit in and learn and really be able to engage in a discussion that just really speaks to me. Like that shit is everything to me. Have you ever sat around a bunch of people that just really didn't get where in the hell you coming from? And then you feel like you got to shrink your conversation just so that you can make a connection with people. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's not get it twisted. But for me, it's super important. And this is why, like, even in my career path, that I wouldn't even really mess with. Like, I like to work in helping professions where I'm of service to somebody, where I feel like I'm making some type of a difference out here in these streets. However, I don't know what the hell that was. It looked like some Outlook verification, whatever. Anyway, however, for me, I need to be intellectually stimulated. I'm one of these cats, like, I couldn't work with the mentally retarded, or is that the politically correct word? Everybody want to look for a reason to be offended and shit. But anyway, I can't work with that particular population. Now, I can do it for a few seconds because, of course, I do what I can. But after a while, it starts to grate on my nerves. I don't need that aggravation in my life. I really need to be able to have an exchange in my conversation. So I need to be able to interact with somebody that can understand where I'm coming from, that can build with me, that can do all of that other stuff. And so that's a population that has really not been able to do that. However, if your desire is unconditional love in a pure vibration, there you go, right there. That's your population right there. For me, I understand what it is. It is what it is. And that's just where I'm at right here. This is what I came to do. So, and for all of the cats that's out there looking for reasons to be offended, I do want to remind you that we all came here to do something different out here. So calm the hell down. Shout out to that soul family doing these big things out here on Clubhouse, on social media, all over the place. And I look forward to the opportunity of experiencing you all. So shout out to each and every one of y'all doing work in a big way. Made some efforts to connect too. And it just didn't seem like, I guess, see, everything is divine timing. Divine timing. And this is why I give a special shout out to the family that shows up and slides through at the Sirius Cipher. It is divine order. It is divine timing that I make sure that there's a link sent out to anyone that I think may be receptive to being open, to having an exchange, and offer an opportunity for all of us to get together, to come to the table, to have that back and forth, to have that exchange. And we all see it differently. And it is okay. And I love shit like that because this is what helps us to expand in our consciousness. If we got everybody sitting at the table agreeing with us, yeah, right on. Yeah, that's right. I agree. There is no expansion in that bullshit. Miss me with it, huh? But if we get together, no, I see it this way. This is how I'm looking at it. See, check this out. See, this is that conversation that I like to get into where folks is big enough to allow folks to see it differently. No matter how passionately they are, it's not an adversarial, passionate interrupt. It's more of a passionate, this is how I see it interrupt. And so I like when that type of exchange happens. And when we get to that sweet spot of getting the discernment to know the difference between someone being merely passionate in their expression, like folks like me, as opposed to some folks whose consciousness is at a level to where they feel the need to have agreement. Huge difference. Discernment helps us with that. So yeah, so I just definitely want to give a lot of gratitude to all of the family. Sheila came through that piece, man. I'm gonna tell you something. She really gave a sister something to sip on. When she started talking about reprogramming the algorithm, she took me all the way into another realm to where I'm sitting up there like, hold up. Ho, 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 ho. The form you love. You got to listen to that shit. I'm not reviewing that conversation. You got to listen to that shit. She was dropping some gems up on that. I'm here for that shit. Aquarius moon always coming through. She and I, we get a lot of the same channels. She and I have a real soul connection. We have been friends ever since we were in elementary school. And the real soul connection, because social media just like helps you to reconnect with folks, whatever, is that I keep forgetting that I'm a few years older than she is, because when she and I connected, I was really her sister's friend, her older sister's friend. And she and I just connected so well. She's always been like kind of advanced and before her time and everything. She and I just connected so well. And we have been great friends for all of those years. We talking over 40 years, man. Over 40 years. Very rare, especially for somebody like me that, you know what I'm saying? Like most of my friends are seasonal. And I am hoping that moving forward, because of this work that I've been doing, because of this dance, this thing we've been doing called ascension in these streets, that the connections that I have, that I make, will be more lasting, that I start making these connections. I declare that I start making these connections that can hold space for me regardless of where I am in life. So it's not just a friend because I got some money in my pocket, because I got some weed to roll up, because I got a few drinks up in me or something like that, or because I'm single or whatever in the hell season and period of time that I'm in life. I still have the connections that supersede all of those things, because the connection is soul connection, much deeper than this superficial bullshit connections that we call so-called friendships. And no shade to that, because they're all here, these karmic connections that we have. And when I say karmic, I mean that there's lessons to be learned through those connections. And so when you get into these karmic romantic relationships, they're coming to teach us some lessons. And I know we don't like that shit. You done got up with fuck boy, play or the hater, or you know what I'm saying, hoish girl, whatever, all of the unfortunates of these relationships. Those are karmic ties. They're here to teach us a lesson. It's all good at the end of the day. I know it don't feel good. Trust me, you wouldn't be able to tell me no shit like that in 1999. I wasn't trying to hear that bullshit. That would not have been received. So Yeah. Anyway, moon in Cancer. Moon in Cancer is all about the home life. Cancer energy is special to me because Cancer energy, well, of course, I got a moon in Cancer, so that's some good shit right there. Definitely. You can't get too much shit past folks like that. Anyway, this is a good time to forgive and forget, to avoid that extra over shit. You know what I'm saying? It's time to be, because see, sometimes some of us, especially that got a lot of water in our chart, we got to recognize that our experience is subjective. And so with that, we got to avoid all of the overthinking, over analyzing, all of the over extras. This is definitely a time that rules over our female organs, the breast, the ovaries, and all of that other stuff. Feminine energy, yo. This is definitely not a good time if you are in distress, unless you can, if you can't wait with, it's, I ain't no doctor. I ain't here to tell you the way to go, I'm just telling you the astrology of this shit, and it's not recommended during the waxing moons to have any surgical procedures, just so you know, just because word on the street, I don't make the rules, but I know if I'm gonna be laying on the table, I want shit to go right. I need all of the information so that I can make the best choice so that I can move forward. Anyway, oh man, I want to talk about the word on the street, about this artificial intelligence. And then you hear about all these cats that's out here. I remember hearing, what was that, last year before, Lil Wayne sold his masters. Then I hear Jay-Z sold his masters. Justin Timberlake sold his masters, or somebody, maybe Justin Bieber. I don't know. I get them two cats confused. No disrespect to them brothers. They both been putting out some groovy tunes. But I get them confused, just same energetic vibration, but these cats, they all sold up their masters. And the word on the street is that this is being done because the technology with AI is such so that it can duplicate the sound, the look, the vibe of these particular artists. And then once this Pandora's box is supposedly open, there will be no closing that door, which means, in essence, that this artificial intelligence, because it's an artificial intelligence, can do something very similar and that be totally legal and cool, I suppose. Or maybe, see, here's the other side. See, this is where I'm thinking, because everybody's like, why are they selling their masters? Why are they selling their masters? Why are they selling their masters, right? But I'm on the other side. Why are they buying the masters up? What the fuck? Why are they buying the masters up? Why, I just see, because I understand, like a bunch of us, even no matter how rich, how much abundance passes through the hands of some of us are just them belly full, but we hungry, like Bob Marley said. And so we get into these spaces where we end up selling precious commodities so that we can get a little bit of bling bling. And the question that I had is, why is so many people buying this shit up? Like buying up the masters. Like, I know you get complete control of the music and everything, but these absorb like hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And they're getting rid of it. But if they go sell, if they go buy your masters for $500 million, dang, Rihanna too? Anyway, If they're going to buy your masters for $500 million, how much money do you think they intend on making with that shit? What the hell? And I think that there's going to be some infinite abundance. See, if they can get this artificial intelligence to do renditions of these cats' musics that put out all of these hits and shit out here, the potential is limitless. We talking about artificial intelligent superstars that's coming out here doing full virtual reality concerts, all types of shit, putting out new shit that sound like you, look like you in artificial form, but it ain't you. And you done sold the right to be able to maneuver that shit. You done sold the right. So all of your old shit that you put out, that you put the work in before this technology was available, you done sold it. And now somebody else getting crazy, crazy paid. And now they can take your avatar and make a whole shit ton of money for generations yet to come. I'm just saying, I mean, that's how I see it. I'm just saying. But this is all about us living in the time that we're here today. The transformation of the shit we know. Pluto and Aquarius, big dreams coming down to earth. Big dreams coming down to earth. So we had those transits that came on through. We know about the Pluto in Aquarius. I've been all it's Pluto in Aquarius. This is a time it's about to go down. You know, we say that in the astrology community because there's so much potential in this energy. So many things happen. We tend to overlook it as the everyday mundane shit, but there's magic in the mundane. And so now when we start getting into looking at the stars, it gives us an indication of those things that we can expect that are yet to come. And so with Pluto in Aquarius, this is that transformation area, transformation, death, rebirth. In Aquarius, those things that we know, the humanitarian things, the way that things have been going, it goes down that way. But then we talk about this Saturn in Pisces. Many cats is out here in these streets experiencing their Saturn return. And Saturn being in Pisces is all about bringing that big dream, the bigger picture, the things that you want to see done, bringing that shit down to earth. I was in class, Miss Blue was telling us this is a time where the first is last and the last is first. Pluto in Aquarius, the last planet, the first sign. That's something to sip on right there. Shit, that's gangster deep. And so we living in these times where we can really start taking a look at all of the signs and symbols that's going on out here in these streets. Are you hip to the correspondence? The as above, I forgot to turn the silencers off on my shit. My bad. Anyway, that's gonna happen again. Let me hurry up and get done before that happens again. Got little reminders in my phone to remind me to enjoy my life. I need those reminders sometimes. So that's what the bling is, some type of reminder to remind me that I have the commander seat in this life. And I got to remind myself, because I'll get all caught up in this matrix and shit. You know what I'm saying? Forget where I'm at, forget who I am, and be all involved in this foolishness. So I got to program my phone to remind me to get myself back into alignment. Anyway, it's a recalibration. That's what those are. And I apologize for letting that interrupt. Anyway, however, that correspondence, the law of correspondence in the Kabbalion, Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great, whatever. Anyway, all about as above, so below. This law of correspondence, it gives us an awareness of just how connected we are out here. When you look at, you go out into the garden, I know broccoli came up, and you look at the broccoli, and then you notice that it's for the brain. As above, so below. The stars in the sky, holding the light codes and all of that other stuff. And so we know that spirit speaks to us through signs and symbols. And when we start making those connections, I call them divine light codes. There's so many other folks that call them light codes and everything. And I ain't really 100% sure on what it is that they're talking about, because I take my own interpretation and rocks with that. For me, light codes are a remembrance, reminders of what our powers is. I think there was somebody, who was that? Einstein, some scientist who talks about they hold and transmit our vibrational frequency. Word. But divine light codes show up for me in signs and symbols. You can see that in the astrology, in the numerology, in the tarot and divination systems and whatnot. I make so many helpful connections with this shit. Because for me, this is divine guidance, a remembrance of my power to hold and transmit my vibrational frequency. Yeah. So when you know your astrology, you know your numbers, you know your tarot, you know these esoteric sciences out here, you can get true light codes. I find light codes just by knowing those particular systems, right? So the light codes that I'm talking about, let's say I can look at it through the day and time, because see, divine light codes, this is just for my everyday life, right? When you know the numerology, when you know the astrology, and when you understand, and I'm telling you something because I am still a student of the tarot system, but I have gotten, since I started studying the tarot system a couple years ago, I have gotten so much expansion. And I'm hoping that this will assist you if you ain't already here, because you know I show up late to the party, that this will really assist us in really receiving this divine light code in the messages. And so for me, let's talk about, I started out with the luminary moon codes. I used to call it a theory, but no, this is a code, because this is all in correspondence. This is all in alignment. So these is definitely codes. And so the luminary moon codes is where I use the numerology, the astrology, the numerology, and the tarot. Astro-Numero-Tarot, we can call it, right? And you can get a lot of really great information by checking out the luminary that surrounds the particular planet. So we got this planet, Pluto. No, let me start back. Let me start, who came here first? Which transit showed up first? Was the Saturn and Pisces. And so we know that Pisces energy is all about the dream realm, the addictions realm, you know what I'm saying? The creative, the imaginative realm and whatnot. And that meets up with Saturn, which is all about materializing and structure, right? But it also looks at our perceived limitation, our authority figures, our responsibilities, our commitments, our structure, our hard work. When Saturn shows up, this gives us an opportunity to take all of that shit we got out here in dreamland in Pisces and really bring it down to earth so that we can make shit happen. This is a time where you can bullshit everybody else in this world, but you bet not be bullshitting yourself. This is a time right now we can keep it $150 with ourselves, because when we in check, when we in tune with who we are, not playing this game, oh, it wasn't me, I couldn't do that, I would never do such a thing. Stop that shit. Let's be $150, because see, then that way you ain't all triggered when somebody call your shit. Saturn giving us this golden grand opportunity to be able to make the corrections, to make the adjustment, so we don't slip, trip, and fall out here in these motherfucking streets. Saturn. So then we also want to talk about the moons for Saturn. See, Saturn, that planet of structure, perceived limitations, responsibilities, commitment, structure, and hard work. There are 82 moons that orbit around Saturn. Luminaries, look that shit up. It illuminates shit. It brings shit to light. 82 luminaries, 82 moons. Oh, that's a powerful and a hell of a light code that's going on in there. So we can just check the numerology out on all of that, right? We can look at the 8. You know, we already know, like, that's the number of abundance and power. We can look at the number 2 in 82, and we can see that that is the number of cooperation. It's the number of union, of receptivity. We can add those numbers together, which I like to do too. 8 and 2 is 10, which is that number of creativity, confidence, unity, infinite possibilities surrounding that number. But then when we look over into the tarot system, we see that number 1, because 8 plus 2 is 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1, holds that energy of the magician. And this is all about us tapping into our hidden power, our magical ability, and mastering these unseen forces that are around us, getting us in alignment for what it is that we came here to do. 1. But then, of course, we know 8 and 2 is 10. Let's check that shit. Because in correspondence, it comes down to the Wheel of Fortune, right? Yes, the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, I'm all hyped up and everything, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about birth, rebirth, new starts, right? Destiny, your karma, turning points, life cycles. The Wheel of Fortune. 82 moons around Saturn, the light code in that shit. 8 plus 2 is 10, and the tarot card that is in correspondence with that is the Wheel of Fortune. Saturn is the planet of karma. Say word, son. Then that's like, okay, let's talk about Pluto, because Pluto is all about transforming, we know. This is meeting Aquarius, that knowledge energy, you know what I'm saying? Humanitarian, we got that, right? But this Pluto energy is about death, regenerative forces, dealing with that unconscious shit, right? And this is a time for us to be able to transform it so that we can expand in our consciousness. The planet Pluto has 5 luminaries around it. And a little something, something. 5 luminaries. The number 5, of course, is all about action, all about movement, all about traveling. It's saying you got to make a move, man. You got to make a move. This is also encouraging us to recognize all of the options that we have out here, encouraging us to be able to choose wisely and be able to really tap into our discipline. I got another code, but I'm gonna leave that one right there because you know it you know what I'm saying. I've been and went on a whole nother tangent, and I ain't got time for all of that because I'm really trying to keep us there. Maybe another time. I will definitely another time. But the number 5 is also in correspondence with the Hierophant. The Hierophant energy is all about. Now, if we you know, dealing with, hold up. Dealing with the tarot card system, the Hierophant is all about that spiritual wisdom, that tradition, the conformity, the morality, the ethics, that whole vibration, right? And if you ain't doing that, you on the other end of it, you rebellious and you know what I'm saying, and all of that other type of shit, right? However, the Hierophant energy is also about being able to appreciate the wide variety of experiences in life. And so if the planet Pluto has 5 moons and it is giving us this luminary wisdom to take action for our lives, to make some moves, to recognize that freedom and discipline, and then being able to appreciate all of these varieties that we have in life, is giving us that light code of how we can navigate these streets or what needs to happen. That's some gangster ass shit right there, fam. Gangster. But we got to know how to look for these light codes, man. We do. And you can do that in your everyday mundane thing. So let me show you the light code in today, right? So what is today? Today is, hold up, what did I put my thing down? Today is 3/28/2023. So I'm going to start off with the number 3 for the month of March. The light code in the month of March itself, because it is the number 3, this is all about our expression, our sensitivity. This is encouraging us to really be creative, to really start to move towards our ambitions, to make things happen. This is also in correspondence with the Empress energy, right? Hold up. Where my card at? Hold up, where my card at? And the Empress energy is all created, is all about that creativity, is all about that feminine energy, all about fertility, all about abundance. And this is, look, and check out how it's structured, right? Right here where we set off, we change from Pisces into Aries season, where we have this entity we call the Easter Bunny, that's connected to the goddess Ishtar, that's connected to not Halloween, the holiday of Easter, where we get this Easter Bunny information from, and this Empress energy being connected to fertility, beauty, and abundance, just as this Easter Bunny. I'm just saying. Empress energy. Today is the 28th. And just like Saturn again, we go back into that 8 + 2, which is the number 10, the wheel of fortune. This is all about our destiny, our fate, our karma. Today is a day for us to really, let me finish, hold up. For us to really, I got to go back. For us to really step into our creativity, because this is a day that's connected to that wheel of fortune energy. In the month of creativity, your day, your energy for today is the Wheel of Fortune energy. It is also connected to the Magician energy, which is corresponded to the first card. Well, not the first card, number 1 in the major arcana. The Magician energy, yet again, let me get back on there. Magician. Where did I put it? The Magician energy, anyway. I know what the Magician is. The Magician is all about stepping into your power, creating shit, making it happen for yourself. This is about you tapping into your star player. This is about you really being about the business. Magician energy. This is what gets you in that whole karmic. Karmic can be a good thing because, see, when you put that work in, when you step into your power, you get the karma of that. The number 28. Also the number of the sacred union. Also the number, I can go on with these numbers, man. I will spin for days, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. The number 2, the number 8, the strength number, the high priestess number. We can sit back and we can talk this shit, right? Because there's divine light codes all within it. And it is all depending on what spirit brings to your consciousness, what spirit brings to your awareness. It may bring it all like it does me. And then I'm overloaded with all of this shit. And then I'm spinning like a top. And of course, we already know with this moon in Cancer, we want to avoid overthinking. Anyway, then the year number 7, of course. The year number 7 is this spirituality, this consciousness year. You have heard so many folks out here in these spiritual streets talk about this being the year 7 of being the year of spirituality and consciousness. But this is also a year, because check out all of this other shit that's going on back here in the background, where Saturn met Pisces, where we getting that discipline and structure so that we can make our dreams come down into reality, where we're starting to become expansive, where we are starting to really transform our knowledge, our awareness, our connection out here in this world. It comes with a level of trust and openness that we're being called to work with. The spirituality and the consciousness, that's all connected to number 7. So then when you add those up together, oh shit, I should have added everything up. Hold up. 3, 1, 7. That's an 11 day. That's some transformation energy right there. 11, huh? And then, of course, we know that 1 and 1 is 2, which brings us into that energy of the high priestess. And the high priestess energy encourages us to use our intuition and our wisdom, and making sure that we are very clear on where we're at, because your emotions may mislead you. A good day to get in tune with that, especially with this moon in Cancer, huh? Emotions may mislead you. So I'm just hoping, hold up, let me see, where's my time at? Jeez, I can go on and on. I'm just hoping that this brought just a little bit of light, a little bit of insight to help us all along on our spiritual journey. Spirit is always talking to us out here in these streets. And so some of us are out here and we just, boom, we get the light code. Some days it's hot like that, ain't it though? Huh? It's hot like that. And you just boom, boom, you right on point, you right on sync. And then there's some days where we struggle to connect. Divine light codes will assist you when you have those periods of where you just need a little bit more guidance. You struggle just a little bit. Now you got something tangible that you can work with that's going to assist you in navigating these cosmic streets out here. And I sincerely hope that I was able to assist you in your journey. Peace and light. Peace and love.